What's going on, fellas? It's your man, Coach Bardo, coming back to you. Wanted to do a live on my Facebook page instead of the group because it seems like there's a lot of people that are interested in Find Your Country in 72 hours, more so than was in the Facebook group. So we're going to do this on the Facebook page today. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm going to try to get through this. I'll answer your questions if they come up during what the breakdown of this product, then I'll answer them. If not, we can wait to the end. But hopefully, you guys will get a sense of what is being offered at noon, 12 o'clock noon, Friday, Halloween, Eastern time. Okay. All right. So, you guys, when you're trying to make a decision like this, if you're thinking about it, you're thinking about it. So, for example, I was looking at YouTube videos well before COVID. I had dreams of living in a different location, and so I've been looking at this for years. This latest situation I'm going to tell you about, the story that really got me over the hump was just the latest in a number of situations, racial situations that I've dealt with in my life. And to be honest, if you ask most Black people who have a sense of who they are and they're not brainwashed, they will tell you that they've had hundreds of microaggressions or several overt aggressive situations in their lifetimes living in the United States. This is a part of our life. I know that it's not well documented, but I just wanted to put that out there just so you understand. All right. So I talked about it on a video. I won't go into depth. I had an incident. It was 6:30 in the morning. I fly all the time, guys. Or I used to anyway. I was on my way to go call the Oregon at Purdue game, and I was working with NBC at the time for this particular game. And so I normally fly out of Midway. I flew out of O'Hare, and the reason I'm not going to give you the airline is because I've already received the settlement from the incident. That was 3 months after the incident happened. That's very quick to get a settlement of this type because they knew that what happened was not right. Okay, so as I'm leaving the gate, that I just got pulled off the flight, and I'm trying to keep my composure because I'm really upset. And I'm talking to these guys, and I gave them a screenshot of what I wrote on the plane before I was removed. I knew the setup was in play. I wrote this out. I wrote what Chat GPT told me to write out. I wrote it out. I had my whole statement with details and everything. And as soon as I got off the plane, all they wanted, well, we got to take a statement. And I'm telling, screw you, talk to my lawyer because you guys messed up. And I went to tell them, guys, I represent 3 or 4 different networks. Every one of them is going to hear about this situation. They start scrambling. They get me rebooked. I'm leaving this gate, walking to another gate, and there was an exit sign right here. I almost left that day. I still had 3 weeks of January, all of February, and March of college basketball left. I almost left that day. I stopped at that exit sign and I stared at it what felt like a few minutes. It was probably 5 to 10 seconds. But in my mind, I was gone. But I couldn't leave the networks out to dry like that. So I went to the next gate, and lo and behold, do you know that every time I went somewhere throughout that weekend, I got 4 or 5 calls from the airline. I got every time I got to a gate or something, there was somebody waiting there to talk to me. So this guy, you know what he said, guys? He's like, wait a minute, aren't you Stephen Bardo with the Flying Illini? And I was like, bro, you got a lot of effing nerve to be talking to me about that BS right now, based on what's going on. And so that day I mentally checked out, right? So what I want to tell you guys, there is no perfect time. I just made a decision and it changed everything for me. But if I don't make the decision, things won't change, right? That's what Find Your Country in 72 Hours is all about. You don't need months. You don't need years. You need a plan. And that's what Find Your Country in 72 Hours is all about. It gets you moving. Okay. So let's talk about the three. Hold on. Let's see. We got comments here. Okay. We're good. Um, there are three lies. There are more than that, but the ones that pop up in my conversations with my community of Black men, these three things pop up quite a bit. Okay. The broke myth. So a lot of people think that you need $50,000 saved up to make a move like this. That's not it. In the guide, I picked out the 10 countries where there are the largest Black expat presence in those countries. Okay, so it's 10 of them, and in those 10 countries, I'll get to that in a second. In the 10 countries, we list everything that you need that are pertinent information. They're bullet points about each country, and you'll grade them later on. It'll make sense. Stick with me, okay? So, are you guys stuck in this broke myth? Be honest. Put in the chat if you've been caught up a little bit with this broke myth that you need a bunch of money to move, okay? Second, this is the one that I like the most. Now, this wasn't a problem for my family and friends because they know me. Once I make my mind up, I'm done. I'm ready, fire, aim. I'm not ready, aim, fire. I've never been like that. I don't care what people think. The FOPO, I want you guys to pick this up. This is Adam Dukes. This is a program that I'm in, and he uses this a lot. And it's F other people's opinions. And you can figure out what the F is. And I love that because all of us have those voices in our mind that when we want to make a big change in our lives, we hear this. What's my mom going to think? What's my spouse going to think? What are my kids going to think? What are my homies going to say? F other people's opinions, right? And if you need to, like I'm going to make a sign, FOPO, thanks Adam Dukes. Because believe it or not, I get those as well, guys. It doesn't matter if you're successful. It doesn't matter if you're striving. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're a failure. Everybody has those naysaying voices and thoughts that come into your mind. Okay. And guys, this is your life. It's not anybody else's. You got to live your life. All right. The third one, and probably the most disappointing for me, is the brainwashing. I got brothers in Chicago, Illinois, on the South Side. When I share with them that I moved to Mexico, they're like, oh man, is it dangerous? Are you shitting me? Guys in Detroit, Houston, DC, New York, Los Angeles, all these places where I would venture to say, no, I'm not going to go there. But guys, are you serious? The brainwashing, you'll be a target. And this is going to be an unpopular statement. When Black people leave the United States and go to any other country, we are never the target. Because those people know our history. They know our history better than we do. Black Americans are never the target. Because if you go to different countries and you ask people that have dealt with European people, with American people, with people from all over the world, if you ask them about Black people, especially here in Mexico, a lot of the Mexican people will ask me, why do Black people try to speak Spanish and other groups don't? That's because Black Americans have been dissed in the country that we were born in. We understand humanity. We understand respecting other people's cultures. We totally get that. That's never lost on us. Okay? So stop the BS brainwashing, guys. For example, in the United States, you'll often hear Black people talk negatively about Mexicans, or you'll hear Mexicans talk negatively about Black people. Go learn your history instead of listening to these narratives and these tropes that keep getting fed to us by the billionaires, the oligarchs. They need us fighting, guys. If you go look at the history of Black Americans and Mexican people, I will give you a hint, but I want you to go look it up yourself. There's a strong connection between these two groups, but it's been lost and commandeered because the people that own media continue to push these BS narratives. All right. The brainwashing stops today, guys. There's no perfect place in the world to go. That's not what I'm saying. But please don't let safety be the first thing that comes out of your mouth in a country that has mass shootings like 3 or 4 a week. We have so many mass shootings in the United States now. Well, let me rephrase that. The United States has so many mass shootings per week that we stop even paying attention. The news media doesn't even cover all of them because there's too many to cover. So until you start to see 2, 3, 4 mass shootings per week in Mexico, then maybe start to get worried about your friends and family that have moved down here. But if you're ever concerned, if you're ever worried about the safety of your fellow homies or your uncle or your dad or your brother that moved to Mexico, pick up the phone and call them and ask them what they think. That brainwashing will start to leave your consciousness because that's all it is. It's brainwashing. All right. Now the framework, I have a proprietary framework within Find Your Country in 72 Hours that we call Escape from Alcatraz. I knew this would resonate with guys our age because we remember Alcatraz. We remember that that prison that was built outside of San Francisco that was made an island that was almost impossible to escape. So sometimes when I was in the midst of watching a black couple, when I was in Ohio State calling a game for, it was either Big Ten Network, Fox, or NBC. And I go to my favorite, there's a strip mall area with several restaurants that I really like. And so this past basketball season, last season. And I went to the regular location. I pull in and there's a car parked, and then there's a cop car right behind them. And both of the police officers have guns. Their doors are open and they've got the gun lodged between the door jamb and the car. And they're sitting there with their guns drawn. So I'm like, dang, what the heck is going on? So I pull over and park. 2 minutes later, 35 police cars come from every direction. And so these police officers wait and they ask the driver, get out of the car with your back to us with your hands up. And this brother gets out of the car with his hands up. They tell him to get on his knees. He gets on his knees. They come up and they frisk him. Nothing. Oh, no, wait a minute. They had him walk back behind the depth of the car so that they weren't exposed to the passenger in the car. Okay. So they're walking backwards. The man is hands up, fearing for his life. Once he got past the car, they told him, drop to your knees. They come up, they search him, nothing. They put him in the cruiser. They tell the passenger, they do the same thing. Get out of the car. It's a woman, black woman. She puts her hands up, does everything they say, walks backwards slowly, drops to her knees. They frisk her. They put her in the back, nothing. They go through the car. Nothing is found. And all these police officers are laughing. Guys, I took the video on my phone. All these police officers are laughing. But this black couple is traumatized. And I'm traumatized sitting there looking at it. I mean, I'm really, really upset, right? And these police officers, they all go back to their cars laughing. Because what I think happened was this was a young, zealous police officer that made a big deal out of freaking nothing. Those things scar Black Americans. They scar the hell out of me. And I've seen this. But it's only gotten worse as of late. So it's an escape to Alcatraz framework that I thought would resonate with brothers that understand where I'm coming from. All right. First, it's the mindset. You got to break the mental barriers, right? You stop worrying about what other people think. You got to remember, guys, especially guys like me. I'm 57. So I've lived far more life than I've got left. I can't worry about what my family, friends, and associates think. I can't worry about that. I got to live my life. And am I not living my life? Look at my skin, y'all. I'm glowing because I've been down here almost 7 months. Now I've been back to the States and visited. I just visited with my dad, 86th birthday with my family and all that. But I got back on that track today and got that sun on my skin, baby. It's glorious, right? So the mindset, there are exercises in there that get you to understand what's real and what's fake. Okay. Second, guys, I'm real serious about this. We've got to train for transition. Why do I say this? Because a lot of us are not healthy. And you can't heal in the same place that made you sick. So if you got sick in the United States, you can't heal there. The environment, the food, the stress, the hatred, the everything that they put on us. You can't heal in a place that made you sick, guys. So you got to start to try to get yourself better and train for your transition, because you can't eat poorly. You can't not work out. You can't not drink a sufficient amount of water. You can't not get your rest. These are all critically important because, guys, if you don't have your health, you don't have shit. When your health goes, everything goes. Okay? Put in the comments, do you agree with what I'm saying or not? Put a yes or no in the comments if you agree with what I'm saying. All right. Third part is the map. So there's 10 countries where there's the largest Black expat communities that I used, right? And so you answer these questions and it comes up with a country that's right for you, not what someone else suggested, not a YouTube thing that you saw that's right for you, okay? All right, so I'm gonna give you a little bit more insight on exactly what's in here, and I'm gonna go through this quickly, and I'll get to your questions. Module 1, that's actually it's a 10 country freedom matrix, not a 7. That was a typo there. So you got the 10 countries that I'll give you. Some of them are Portugal, South Africa, Ghana, Mexico, Colombia, Thailand. Those are a few of them, okay? Then you get the 72-hour decision framework. Like I said, you get the country matrix, you got the framework, you figure out what you have to have and what you don't have, okay? All right. Third, the first 30 days relocation blueprint. So this is really a bonus that I threw in here that will allow you to really start to lay out what you need to do in the next 30 days to make yourself available to relocate, okay? And then module 4, this gives you a checklist to give you what you need to be able to close out things properly without leaving and having strings attached back home that will keep you from going to the country of your choice, okay? All right, guys. So I'm not gonna keep you much longer. Find your country in 72 hours drops this Friday, noon Eastern Standard Time, okay? And that's it. Let me see if I got, you're bringing knowledge and wisdom, brother. Keep on doing what you're doing. South 7. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Health is your wealth. Yes, it is. Chef Brian X, good to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Guys who are watching, Chef Brian X is the truth on that grill, on that stove and that grill. You're not going to find many better chefs. The name chef it applies here. Great to see you, Chef Brian. Okay, guys. That should do it. I wanted to come on here quickly. Didn't want to take up too much of your time, but Find Your Country in 72 Hours will be dropping Friday, noon Eastern Standard Time. Go to the link in my bio, if you haven't already, to sign up to get your global scouting report. This is a precursor for Find Your Country in 72 Hours. It's in my bio. Go get it. It's 8 questions. It takes 2 minutes. It spits out a report of your readiness to relocate. Hope you guys go and do that. Okay, wait a minute. We got somebody else. My pleasure, Chef. I appreciate you guys, man. You all have a great rest of your day. Be watching for things coming out as we lead up to the launch of Find Your Country in 72 Hours. Thank you, guys. Love you all. Until next time. Holla, y'all.